What if the real revolution of artificial intelligence is machines replacing people, but some people quietly replacing everyone else because they know how to use those machines? Right now, the global workforce is splitting in two: the professionals who treat AI as an extension of their own thinking, and those who think AI is something happening to them. The first group is doubling productivity, landing promotions, and building entire businesses on automation and insight that their peers don't even see. The second group is waiting for HR memos about AI policy. Data already proves the gap. Nearly half of U.S. workers now use generative AI at work, and average daily use has surged more than 200% in just 6 months. Early adopters are reporting 40% productivity boosts and threefold speed gains on routine tasks. They're not just working faster, they're learning faster. Here's the uncomfortable truth. AI isn't coming someday. It's here, and it's creating a new form of literacy. Those who master it treat every prompt, every model, every workflow as a skill compounder. Those who wait for training manuals will wake up wondering how the job description changed overnight. So, what separates the people who are using AI to pull away from the pack from those being quietly outpaced by it? Because the technology has already drawn the starting line. The next 5 years will decide which side of the great AI divide you stand on. Every major economic transformation begins with a learning gap, but this one is the fastest in history. When printing presses appeared, it took a century for literacy to spread. When electricity was invented, industries had decades to adapt. But when generative AI arrived, the adoption curve collapsed into months. Think about this. Between late 2022 and 2024, AI tools leapt from novelty to necessity. 43% of workers use them daily. Entire departments operate faster than competitors simply because someone on the team decided to experiment last year. The new competitive advantage isn't money, status, or title. It's time with the machine. And that's what's fueling the great AI divide. For one group, AI is a creative super assistant that drafts, summarizes, visualizes, and automates. For everyone else, it's an invisible force they hear about in headlines but never touch. Each week, that gap widens. Those learning by doing are compounding skill, while latecomers are still composing strategy slides about the AI opportunity. The deeper problem isn't fear of automation, it's paralysis. People freeze up, convinced they need coding skills or enterprise training before they can start. Meanwhile, freelancers, small business owners, and even students are quietly building workflows that compress hours of effort into minutes. History remembers one kind of worker after revolutions, the ones who learned during the disruption, not after it. The hard question now is how to make that shift from overwhelmed by AI to augmented by it. Because the curve isn't slowing down, and the first step to staying ahead isn't technical at all. It's psychological. The people getting ahead aren't necessarily more technical. They're more curious. They've learned the winning mental model. Treat AI as a brilliant intern, not an oracle. It's fast, creative, and tireless, but it still needs your judgment to guide it. Those who adopt this mindset stop asking, will AI take my job? And start asking, how can I make AI do the parts one don't want, so I can focus on the ones that matter? Research proves the power of that shift. Teams that pair AI tools with human oversight see 40% gains in productivity on average, and bigger gains when creativity or empathy is involved. AI handles the mechanics. Humans handle meaning. This mindset also dissolves the 3 biggest anxieties holding people back. Job loss. Yes, some roles vanish, but new ones appear faster. Early adopters transition easily because they've already res-killed into the next version of their job. Bias and ethics. They engage, not avoid. They question data, check outputs, and treat oversight as a competitive advantage and trust. Overwhelmed, they specialize. Depth in 3 tools beats dabbling in 40. Every AI era winner builds a personal toolkit and habits around experimentation, critical thinking, and adaptive curiosity. They don't wait for perfection. They iterate in public, and that's the real unlock. AI isn't eliminating the need for human talent. It's exposing who can learn visibly, adapt rapidly, and think beyond the manual. So, what does that look like in practice? Let's map exactly which tools, and more importantly, which strategies, Early adopters are using to turn AI into an unfair advantage. Here's the twist that most people still miss. The winners in the AI era aren't the so-called tech geniuses. They're the strategic minimalists. While the average worker drowns in 20 different apps they barely understand, high performers master just 3. One for thought, one for creation, and one for automation, and drill them until they become extensions of their mind. That's the AI toolkit law. Depth creates advantage, not variety. They start simple. Text and reasoning, a language model like ChatGPT or Claude to draft, brainstorm, plan, and analyze. Visual creation, Midjourney, DLLE, or Runway for instantly producing images, MockUPS, or videos. Automation, Zapier or Make, to turn repetitive workflows into self-running systems that save hours every week. Stack these, and you don't just save time, you multiply capability. A single freelancer automating research and proposals can suddenly compete with entire agencies. A student using AI tutors can learn twice as fast as classmates cramming the old way. A manager linking AI analytics to decision dashboards can forecast instead of react. That's the hidden dividend of mastery. Momentum. Every improvement compounds. In 90 days, you outperform average peers. In a year, you're working at a superhuman scale, and all you did was learn how to talk to machines better than they can talk to you. But if this is a new literacy, then what sustains the edge once everyone else catches up? Because the final advantage of AI isn't the technology at all. It's the habits behind it. And those habits determine who keeps rising when the tools level the field. The truth is, technology levels the playing field only once. Habits decide who stays on top. Every AI breakthrough eventually goes mainstream. What doesn't spread so easily is discipline. The daily 30-minute practice of refining prompts, documenting what works, and testing new workflows. Over months, those tiny repetitions form the equivalent of digital muscle memory. That's compound learning, one insight stacked on another until you're operating at a level that feels unfair to anyone still learning sporadically. This is how the great AI divide solidifies, not because some people have access to better tech, but because they've made AI interaction a habit instead of novelty. They don't panic with new tools. They pivot instinctively. They don't fear automation. They orchestrate it. And the irony is beautiful. When everyone else worries about losing their jobs to machines, these people are using machines to reclaim their time, creativity, and human edge. They're freer, not busier, smarter, not faster. So, here's the blueprint. Learn faster, automate smarter, create uniquely, stay ethical. Do that, and you won't just survive this decade. You'll define it. Because the AI revolution isn't about replacing humans. It's about revealing who's willing to keep learning like one. Next on Skill Rise Hub, we go deeper into building daily AI habits that compound your career advantage. You'll see how a few consistent routines can turn every new week of AI progress into exponential growth for your projects, your career, and your confidence.